I am. Happy Sunday.
Now, I wonder if I'm tall enough in
Any idea what lens I'm looking into?
there. Nope.
From
Well,
there.
I can see you on the screen. Let's see
All
if
right,
I
you
can.
can keep an eye on if anybody's chatting.
Yeah, I can just look down here if you like.
Okay.
That way I don't have to hold an iPad.
Well, officially start. Welcome. We're Laser Brains. I am exciting young Thomas,
And I'm Laser Brains #1.
or as we call her, Devin X.
That's
Why
my
are we here?
director's name. We're talking about Prime Day.
Prime Day. Have you ever heard of Prime Day?
Yes. It used to be cool. Oh.
Oh, all right. A little saucy here.
Okay.
Even though we're a positive channel, you're a little.
Well, I said I didn't like either thing we've done.
Okay. What do you mean? What do you mean you don't like either thing we've done?
I did.
This
I didn't
Laser
like.
Brains idea?
No, I didn't like the movie we watched, and then now I don't like Prime Day.
Oh,
So
right.
I'm glad we're talking
Okay.
about it.
So you'll be the sour and I'll be the sweet.
There you go. Good cop, bad cop.
All right. So Prime Day just happened this week, and some stuff came, and I'm going to show you. And I think maybe I don't know if this is going to be every week because I don't get discs sent every week or by every week, so it'd be possible to do that.
You can do. You can always just talk about the ones you have here.
Well, that's a good idea. I was thinking maybe after we're done showing this, we could do a spotlight. Can you think of any film that maybe people don't know and tell them about it? I've already got mine picked. I don't know that your microphone's on, so I don't know if
Why?
anybody heard you. I don't see the blue thing going. So the good news is you didn't hear any of the negativity.
Well, it could. I could have got it on yours.
All right, whatever.
Okay.
So should we talk about what we got for Prime Day?
What you got for Prime Day?
Well,
I
I
didn't
mean,
get
we're
anything.
here, and
Okay.
I've only got a couple years left, and then it's going to be yours. So
Okay.
you got it for Prime Day too.
All right.
Let's talk about. We could talk about V on Blu-ray.
Was that something you got on Prime
I
Day?
did.
I didn't even know that.
We were watching that last night. We got about halfway through. You want to say anything about V?
I'm enjoying it so far. It's
Yeah.
better than Close Encounters.
Not quite a compliment, but
Well,
okay.
it's the same concept. It's these guys, and they come here, and they're aliens.
Oh, they are.
Well, yeah.
I didn't get that.
You didn't get that. When he ripped off his face and he was a lizard, you didn't get that?
Is that what that was?
Okay.
All right. I just thought he was wearing green makeup.
Okay.
I do remember there was a lady who's in charge,
Mm-hmm.
and she went over and grabbed a guinea pig to eat it.
And she ate it.
She did, but all of a sudden the camera changed, and it was this puppet head, and it was like this. She had a mouth that could eat a brontosaurus,
Exactly.
and then they put the hamster in, and then they cut, and she was going
Did you think the actress was going to put a hamster in her mouth?
guinea pig.
That was a big guinea pig.
Okay, so there are actors who go the extra mile, and there are actors who use a puppet.
Don't throw shade.
I mean, there's some.
You don't want to put that in
How
your
about
mouth.
how about who's the guy that played Batman
I
really
have no
badly
clue.
with the bad voice?
I have no clue.
Can't think of it. He was American Psycho. Christian Bale.
Norman
Christian
Bates.
Bale would have ate the guinea pig.
Yeah, but he's also done like horror movies and stuff, hasn't he?
Well,
You just said
you could call
Psycho.
American Psycho a horror movie, I guess.
That's just
More of a
kinda.
serial killer, I don't know.
That's pretty intense stuff he's willing to do.
Well, anyways, so V was early 80s. It was a
Mhm.
miniseries. For some reason on the disc, they've taken the whole miniseries and crushed it down into one big bulldog ball.
Movie. It says play movie.
Right, but it's a miniseries, so I guess they've stitched it together. And
Mm-hmm.
we're about an hour and 45 in.
True.
Probably got another hour, or maybe even change to go. So it's good.
I like
Much
it.
better than the DVD we had.
I never saw the DVD.
Well, I did.
I didn't.
And much better than VHS copy I used to have
Never saw
taped
that.
off television.
Okay, that's
Alright.
probably better.
No, I didn't.
I can say that.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, what do you got?
This one I can show because the V's in the other room. I can't show you that. because it's still in the player and we're still watching it. But here, and thanks to Amazon, it's a little crunchy.
What does that mean?
That means they smashed it because they
Okay.
didn't pack it correctly. They just threw it in a box without any padding.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm sure the discs will be all right, yes?
You haven't looked yet?
Well,
Prime Day was a few
still
days
close.
ago.
Listen, if you had any idea what my schedule was,
Uh-huh.
you wouldn't even be asking.
Okay.
Anyway, here it is. Max Headroom wasn't on TV very long.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of Max Headroom?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen Back to the Future?
I have.
Have you seen the second one where they went into the Cafe 80s and
Yes.
some TV screens came over and they were all
I do remember that.
That's Max Headroom. They were
Okay.
ripping that off. This guy did it first. I think it was a Pepsi commercial first.
Oh, so I love how you go, uh-oh. Meanwhile, you're the one who's supposed to show me that stuff.
Well, I don't know.
Never seen it.
Okay. So, well, I think it was a Pepsi commercial.
Okay.
Might have been Coke. Coke's better.
Yes.
There's a hot take.
It's the
for you.
number one drink in America.
Okay. And so then they turned it into a TV show. Now, usually when they take stuff from a commercial, looking at you, cavemen, whatever the hell that sitcom was that lasted 10 minutes,
Okay.
and they turn this into a TV show, and it's beautiful 80s sci-fi, dystopian,
Okay. I like that.
and it's been so long I couldn't tell you one thing about it, other
Okay.
than it has Amanda Pays in it,
Mm-hmm.
who was married to Corbin Burnson. Two people you have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
Even I don't know who they are, and I said their name.
Okay.
So it's a DVD complete series. I mean, how many episodes could there be on there? All 14
It's the
uncut episodes.
complete
So
series.
can you imagine 2 seasons and they only squeezed out 14 episodes?
Yep.
Must have been expensive. I think the Jeffrey Tambor is in this too.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that here. I don't know. Anyway, there it is. Max Headroom. And I think the story was somebody saw a sign that said maximum headroom, and they took that off of there.
Great.
Real funny. That's when they're making commercials, their highest effort is now.
I got you. Oh, wow. You got the whole thing. Show off your Ghostbusters.
This is the magic Ghostbuster trap, and sometimes it traps movies.
Oh.
In my office.
No. I remember when I first got it, they wouldn't put popcorn in it for me.
I remember that. So it looks like the chat room's empty, so there's no question about this, yes?
Yeah, well, not yet, but
It's a desert.
I'm sure something will happen.
One day, someone will be watching this and asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
That is not today.
Mm-hmm.
However, if they watch it tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
they can still ask a question, right?
Yeah.
Somebody might answer it.
We can respond the next day
All
or
right, so
whenever.
go ahead and pull out.
I want to pull out a good one.
All right, well,
I'm not looking.
all right. What is that?
And this is a video game.
Well, it's physical media.
Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Ooh, yeah, right up to that lens there. See if they can see that.
Let's see.
Mirage. Now, why would you buy that? Why
What do you
wouldn't you just
mean?
buy digital?
Well, it's more fun to have though.
Well, that and they almost gave
That-
it to me for free.
That's the whole.
That's why I got it.
It's more fun to have the physical.
Yeah, I don't know, because the stuff isn't on the game. It's like a little code. Make sure you can play it. The game
pretty
isn't even
fun.
actually on the disc.
Wow. It's like a mirage.
I can't tell you anything about it because I haven't even opened it and I haven't played it. But I heard it was like the old ones, but not as good.
I like
so-
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed, yes, but this is far removed, I think.
Okay.
But we'll see. Maybe one day if I play it, I'll go, you know what, Assassin's Creed, I'm sorry, you were actually super excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Now stick your hand in the basket.
Can we take a moment to talk about some of the movies I wish I got on Prime Day?
Okay.
Pearl. I've had on my list forever.
It wasn't on there?
It had no sale. I had it.
Pearl's up there. Why
Well,
don't you
you-
grab it off the shelf
Well,
and
you
show the
have
people?
it.
There's the P section over there.
Pushing up daisies.
While she's doing that, I will tell you, this thing is actually kind of nice. Has wheels. And when this thing is closed, you can press this button here and it flaps open.
I'm getting close.
And what was supposed to happen is they were supposed to put popcorn in it. But they were so tight with the popcorn, they didn't put it in. They just said, here, we want an obscene amount of cash, and you still get no popcorn.
It was an obscene amount of cash.
I know.
I'm really not seeing Pearl up here.
Really, because Pearl starts with a P.
Well, I'm in the P section.
Okay.
There's not many P's here, man.
Well, I see some up here too.
I see peppermint. Oh, they go across?
Well, I mean, listen, we're running out of space, so you never know.
Like I said, I'm still not. There's Oppenheimer up here.
That's an O.
I know, it's just I saw it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to come off camera here, but
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sorry, folks. I'm gonna have. Why
No,
don't you
it'll be
switch
fine.
and riff there for a minute?
Okay. Oh, I get to riff? Can I at least have the box?
Yes, and this is the last time I'm going to ask you to pull a movie off the shelf.
Well, I'm usually good at that. If you can find it, good on you.
Thank you.
I did have to put batteries in this, but I never see the switch really do anything. There's like a thing that opens the switch, and this is supposed to light up, but I've never seen it light up. And it's got wheels at the bottom, and all I would do was I would just chuck this across the room, like they do in the movie. Why didn't we talk about Ghostbusters? We watched that on Laserdisc. We vaguely mentioned it.
Yeah, we talked about Pan and Scan.
Yeah.
Is there a chance I put Pearl with X because it's the sequel?
Wait,
Because I don't see it up
can you
here.
not find it?
No.
Yeah, this is the last time I'm gonna have you
I
pick a
guess
movie
so.
from the wall.
Well, at least I have an idea of where to go next.
Well, you're the one who organized it, so how's that my bad?
Organizing is a fancy word.
X is somewhere over here, yeah.
Right, because you pulled that out the other day.
Yeah,
There
there's
it
X.
is. There's Pearl.
You
She's
put it
sitting-
next to X.
She's sitting there with her sister
Just go.
movie.
That's actually a cool one. That's not even the one I have saved. Okay.
So here's what she's talking about: the sequel to X, which is
Mhm.
Pearl. They go way back in time. I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie because it's a spoiler. There's
Yeah.
nothing I could say that
Plus,
wouldn't spoil it.
Maxine's out.
Plus, Maxine is out, which I
Yeah.
haven't seen.
You don't want to be
'cause
doing
I'm
that.
tired of people making noise in the movie theater and they're
Yeah.
on their phone and they're falling down.
I still
and
want to go see
They
Maxine.
stick their hand in my popcorn.
I still want to go see Maxine.
I know. So there it
That's a
is.
good one.
This is the Walmart exclusive variant.
Yeah,
You
I
can
don't
only
have
get
that
it
one.
there.
The one I had saved on Amazon was the one where she has the red dress, but it like covers almost the whole thing, and she's like going shh.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, okay. Well, because that was like the big thing. I can't say that. I was about to spoil
Don't-
it,
yeah,
even
don't
though we
say
said
anything.
no spoilers.
So anyway, there's Pearl.
That's-
Anything else you wish you would have got?
I kind of had that Dungeons and Dragons movie saved there for a while, and
You know
it
what?
keeps
I want to get
fluctuating.
that too.
Yeah, it keeps going up in price instead of going down.
I want that 4K, and I
Mhm.
cannot get it for a price. I got my fingers crossed for Black Friday.
Yeah, that's true.
Amazon. Who's that bald guy at Amazon? Could you lower the price, please, sir?
Yeah, please.
Maybe take one last trip to outer space
Mhm.
so you can lower the price of Dungeons and Dragons.
Mhm.
Surprisingly good movie. Good call.
Very good
Any
movie.
others?
I know I had a few others saved, but I can't think off the top of my head. I can peek real quick if you
I
want
see
to.
a little smoke.
Why don't you talk about one of these movies
All right, here we
while
go.
I fill up my list?
Boing. You want me to hold this too?
Yeah. Well, I
You want me
gotta.
to do two things?
Well, I'm sorry. You want me to pull up the list or not?
So here's My Blue Heaven. Never heard of it, right?
No.
This probably could be on our list of, hey, probably never heard of it. It's got Steve Martin and Rick Moranis.
I know that guy.
You know both of them.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this one is originally Steve Martin was supposed to play the FBI agent or whoever's in charge of hiding people because they're witnesses.
Okay.
And he
Witness
said
protection
no.
program.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I want to be the mobster that flipped and is in hiding.
Okay.
So you get a very hammy
Mhm.
performance of what a gangster would be. And they're not really that bad. There's a lot of goofing around and stuff.
Mhm.
Fun movie.
I like fun.
It's on Warner Archive,
Okay.
which means they didn't think they could sell any of these. So they're like a special run of them.
Okay.
So usually when you see that, they're harder to find. I hope you can find it if you want it. And I mean, listen, you're not going to be falling over, side splitting.
Uh-huh.
But I've probably seen this 10 times,
Oh.
just because it's one of those ones they used to run on cable, and you could just
Turn off your brain to it.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what you would do.
That's a good.
So My Blue Heaven.
My
There
Blue
they are.
Heaven. Got it. And there was only one other thing on my list, and it was Poor Things. That one's still kind of new, though.
Do you know? I don't have that either.
Exactly. It's still
Because I can't afford that.
it's still too expensive for me, and that's the Blu-ray that was too expensive for me, like 20 something.
There's no 4K.
I don't know.
Hmm.
There must be because it went up for an award. Wouldn't you think? Or it couldn't have been enough time. That's a good movie too.
I don't know how many people were into that. It is very weird.
I've watched it 3 times now, and it's like 3 hours.
The other problem is Mark Ruffalo is in it, and he's a total toad.
Okay.
But I don't know what to say.
I enjoyed it.
Why don't you? Do you have any more picks, or should we go to the?
That
trap?
was it.
All right, we'll go ahead and grab the trap.
That was everything I was hoping would be on sale and wasn't. Casablanca. 4K.
Oh, 4K Casablanca. Now, I think I've seen that movie many, many, many years ago. We were talking yesterday about classics.
This is a classic.
It
I
is
know that.
a classic.
That I've never
I
seen.
have the hardest time with these super old movies.
Yeah, because...
Just because everybody talks weird and
slow. Well, sometimes fast.
Sometimes the story, I don't know. But since we have the 4K and it was practically giving it away, I said, let's go ahead and try Casablanca.
Casablanca.
And
Humphrey Bogart.
Humphrey Bogart.
I've
you know
heard of
him,
that
right?
name.
Do you know why you've heard of it? Tell me why.
Tell me about it.
I know you know why you've heard that.
Why have I heard that?
Think of an episode of the Brady Bunch.
I like the Brady Bunch. I imagine he was on
so
that.
there was an episode where Peter thought he had a shit personality.
Okay.
So he decided to copy somebody else's, and he copied Humphrey
Bogart.
Bogart.
Oh, and he was the pork chops and applesauce?
That's right. That's what he wanted.
I
Pork
do know.
chops
And
and
applesauce. I do remember that.
So that's probably how you know him.
Okay.
There's not much to say because I can't remember a thing about it. I'm sure the transfer's
It's black
good
and white.
because black and white transfers for 4Ks are always the best.
Okay, cool.
They are stunning.
All right, you good?
Yep.
Well, we've already talked about V. Why is this in here?
Well, that's the final battle.
Oh, this is a different
So
V.
apparently the one we're watching, they didn't quite solve all the problems they had.
Uh-oh.
I guess that's what that's saying.
Who will claim the V for victory?
I wouldn't read that. You're going to spoil the rest of it for you.
Can I look at the top thing?
You could, but be careful.
But I want to know who gets V for victory.
Well,
How am I supposed to know if I don't look at it?
It's one or the other. It's the guy with the great hair or the lizards.
I imagine the guy with the gray hair wins. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Anything you want to say about it?
Well,
vaguely?
it's just part 2, and I'm sure it's 3 hours or 4 hours, and I'm sure it's in a big, giant bulldog bowl.
So you're telling me that they couldn't finish the story in 3 hours?
I don't remember the ending.
Okay.
I think what happened is it was so many people watched it, they were like, okay, well, what can we do? How could we tack on some more shit?
Okay.
That's what I think, but I don't know because I can't remember. It's
Okay.
been almost 40 years since I saw that.
Okay. I mean, I guess we'll be able to tell soon enough.
But it's the final battle, so I mean, there's no way there was anything after that, right?
You don't know that. They could do a prequel.
Prequel? What would they do before the aliens came? They're just standing around?
What if they
I wish aliens would come.
What if they followed the aliens before they came to Earth?
You know what? All of a sudden, you have a great idea.
Thank you.
What are you doing here? You should be in Hollywood.
That's what I've been telling you.
All right, let's go to the bag.
This is the last ghost.
That's it. Bye-bye, trap.
The Maltese Falcon. Now go ahead and make a big noise when I'm
I
saying
was
the
rolling
title.
the trap out, hoping you'll catch some more DVDs.
These aren't DVDs. These are Blu-rays. There hasn't been one DVD in here.
Yeah, Max Headroom is a DVD.
Oh, excuse me. You got mostly 4Ks and Blu-rays here, and you called it DVDs. Whatever.
Well, a lot of people do that.
The Maltese Falcon.
Can I tell you a quick story
About?
discs and DVDs because you brought that up?
Okay.
When I first got here, they were reissuing Indiana Jones.
Ooh, I've heard of that.
I have not.
Okay.
But they were putting them out on 4K and in steelbooks, and it had the key art. The original key art was what everybody wanted. And that happened to be, I think it was The Last Crusade, which was the third movie. It happened to be coming out when I got here. And I thought, you know what, there's probably a high probability that you're not going to be able to get it. Or you're going to get scalped.
Okay.
Or if you're not allowed to say that anymore, cash raped.
You can say that.
I went into a Best Buy,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" The kid came right over. "Oh, hello, sir." I said, "How you doing?" "I'm looking for your physical media section."
Oh. Did he take you to, like, the CDs or something?
He looked at me
Like you were from Close
like I was
Encounters?
eating a gerbil.
Okay. I've heard
He-
the term physical media.
I know, but
yeah.
he works there.
And he didn't know.
It's technology, and it's just,
Yeah, well,
and then
fainted.
yes, they had to get
Okay.
another associate to help me.
Okay.
So then I said, DVDs. Oh,
DVDs, Blu-rays.
they're way back in the back of the store, next to the broken toilet,
Okay,
because
great.
they didn't care about
Oh
DVDs.
man,
So anyway, please go ahead.
I don't know what I'd say, but about the Maltese Falcon.
Well, so it's another Humphrey Bogart.
No, you big Humphrey Bogart
They
and
were,
Lee fan.
they're giving those away. So
Well, I wonder why.
I've never seen that one. I can't tell you anything about it. People tell me it's really good, and it's supposed to be a good transfer, and
Detective?
it's black and white. I don't know what it is.
Looks detective.
Maybe it's like Picard when he goes in the holodeck. When
Detective?
he plays Dixon Hill,
Yeah.
like a noir.
That seems to be what it looks like. And this is
Something
like
like
black
that.
and white, but it's got like a brown.
Well, they're doing that to get you to buy it.
So it's like,
A lot of people see black and white and they go, huh? That's for the dummies.
this is brown and white. So
you
it's
know what the
very
chances
different.
of catching a dummy who would go over there and see that color and think, oh, it must be in color, and they have enough brain cells to have a 4K player and get a 4K disc.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, you don't want to attack people who don't have 4K. What if they're just learning?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you. You're right. Maybe they are just learning.
Mm-hmm.
Right at the end when there's going to be no physical media.
Yeah.
They're just learning.
That's true. Hey, sometimes we're late to the party. I'm not. I've started my physical media collection.
They're starting to sweep up all of the trash in the other room and
Mhm.
start taking down the balloons. That's how close we are to the end of the party.
Great. Okay.
So anything you want to say about that?
No.
Either do I.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Never seen it. Don't even know what's going on.
And that's a blind buy, but because it was nearly free,
Mm-hmm.
I will take a blind buy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will pretend that I'm going to sell it, even though there's no one who will buy it.
And then
Or
it
there
just
we go.
goes back on the wall.
Oh, $1.
I don't know.
50 cents. What is this 4K?
I don't think you put enough love into your wall you got here. I think people
I
are
wonder what
very
you mean by that. Put enough love. It sounds very
People are very-
perverted.
people are very impressed by the wall,
Really?
and you don't talk about it enough.
Well, here's the wall.
Well, it's exciting.
It is.
How many people have this?
On YouTube, I've seen a lot of people with a wall.
I gotta be entirely honest. I
Okay.
usually use this when I'm bragging to people, even though it's not mine.
Oh, well, it is essentially yours.
One day.
It's over here, but it's yours.
Yeah. I got my own physical media
Oh,
collection.
I
Thank
understand,
you.
but you can always use more, right?
I've got about maybe one section of movies. This is what I have.
Well, I've been collecting these for a very long time.
I know.
to be
This is
fair.
what I got.
I
And
mean,
some
a
of them
very long
some of
time.
them were gifts from you as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You're a nice guy.
You are a nice guy.
So, do we have anything else to say about physical media?
Maybe one of these days we can talk about the movies I have. I got a lot of Star Trek.
Really? Well, you have to bring them, and then we'll show them.
I can do that.
It's better to show than to tell, right?
Well, because people are going to relate to me more. Because
Yes.
I'm more of a layman and I'm just getting into it. Is that the word
What's
I'm
a
looking
lame man?
for? Layman?
Layman?
Layman? You never heard that?
Is that when you take your ID and put it in plastic?
No, that's laminate.
Oh, right.
Layment
I
is
think you mean layman.
layment?
Layman.
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 No T. Layman.
You're acting like I said the completely wrong thing though. I've heard both.
Layman sounds like you're you're not too sharp.
Oh well.
Not you specifically. I'm talking about if you call that guy a layman, I
Mhm.
would say, oh, you're insulting him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a niche, you know.
A niche. All right. I say niche.
Well, I say niche. That's why I've been hearing people say niche or
Uh-huh.
niche lately.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, I thought it would be fun.
I trust you.
Okay.
All right. So that's it for Prime Day.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have no one in the room, and we still have no questions. So
Yeah,
we
there's
are
really nobody.
speaking into the void. What are people doing on a Sunday afternoon?
Church?
On an afternoon?
Oh,
I
not
think
in
they
the
go
afternoon.
morning, yeah.
I did see a bunch of
And
people.
I've seen some lazier ones go at night.
Yeah. Football?
Is Is there football on in July?
Those are the only two things I know about Sundays, is church and football.
Right. You're a couple months early for football.
Well, I'm just saying, that's
are
what
you,
I know.
Are you the type of person who would watch a football game?
No.
Okay, so you don't know. So if you wouldn't watch it regularly, you probably wouldn't watch preseason or anything.
No.
Okay.
Well, you want to know what I do on a Sunday?
Yes.
Sleep. Because Monday's tomorrow. That's the start of my
Wait
week.
a minute. Today is Sunday and
Yep.
Monday is tomorrow?
Yeah, so I like to sleep before I have a big work week.
You know what we need? We need like a computer over here so we can hit the button when we get a knowledge bomb. And just,
Well, you
boom.
asked. You asked.
I know.
Yeah.
I enjoy knowledge bombs.
You wanted to know what I do. What do you do on a Sunday? That's so important.
Oh, God. Every day.
No, Sunday. What do you do specifically only on Sunday?
All of my days run the same.
Okay.
They're endless. And the moment you open your eyes, it's time to do tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Task, 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 task.
Like watching me pump up the tires and watching
and
me clean
being-
the car.
First, telling you there's a problem with the tires. Second, helping you with the tires.
You don't think that's a little funny?
What?
That your big task day is watching me do stuff?
Well, that's what we call a wild card.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was involved.
Yeah.
I said, hey, that tire is flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I took off the little dipper.
Yeah. I'm just playing.
And I had to read what the PSI was.
We're playing.
P-S-I.
Say I'm funny. Say I'm funny. I'm funny.
You're quite funny.
I thank you.
All right, so then I think what we should do is do a spotlight of movies, even though we did it with My Blue Heaven. We should have a spotlight disc that we say, you know what? Be on the lookout for this one. This isn't, it's a popular movie that everybody knows. This isn't Top Gun,
Yeah.
Maverick. This isn't Barbie,
But it's something we watched that was good.
where you can't escape from it.
Really?
Well, yeah, anything here is presumably is good.
So how are we gonna do that?
Well, probably should have done that in pre-production.
Yeah, but so how about you talk, I pick something, then I
Okay.
talk and you
Because
pick
you know what?
something.
I actually have an idea.
You have an
of
idea?
a
I
spotlight
do not.
I would like to do.
I do not. But I could
So,
find
let me see
something
what else.
that I've seen.
Let me see. Ah, there it is. So you go ahead and pick an all.
That's really funny because you picked the movie right next to the one I wanted to do.
Oh, please. You're scaring me now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to pick this movie called Lisa. And this is sort of a horror movie. Psychological, don't know what's going on, girl in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has that chick that has the smart mouth on that show we were watching called, what's the one with Suzanne Summers? And the Duffy?
Wait, it's about step siblings.
Step by Step.
Step by step.
Step by Step.
That's
That
the
chick
one.
who has a smart mouth on the show,
Okay.
she's in this, and she likes to go on the telephone
Mm-hmm.
and get it. Well, you know what a telephone is, right?
I know what a
Remember when you had the beep, beep,
I know how to
beep,
do the
beep,
rotary and everything.
beep. You do?
Yeah.
Wow, you're old.
I never had to use it, but I know how.
Okay.
Well, that's more than a lot of people. Hey.
All right, well, that's good. If you somehow hit a time machine, you're going to be ready.
Yeah. Well,
You'll be like, let me see the phone.
every time I go to the flea markets, I practice with the rotary phones.
So you're back in time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make a phone call to somehow get back, and you're not going to miss a beat when the old lady goes, here's the phone. He pulls up.
When I'm gonna have to get the phone book out too.
Yep. You just
That's
pick
great.
it up. You're going to look at the dial, and you're going to not stop for a second. You're going to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
this is Lisa. If
I've
you
never
like,
seen that.
listen, it's not AAA.
Okay.
Okay. I'm spotlighting movies that slip through the crack. You don't
Okay.
see movies like this anymore
Mm-hmm.
because it was cheap to make. They only make like superhero movies or stuff like that now that
Mm-hmm.
make or break.
Mm-hmm.
This would have been one you would go see and you go, what is playing this week at the theater?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've already seen, I don't remember when this came out, 1990, 91.
Mm-hmm.
I've already seen Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go see Lisa.
Okay.
So if you like psychological thrillers,
I do.
it's not bloody or anything like that. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
there's uneasiness.
I like unease. Those are fun.
So there it is. Lisa, try this.
Okay.
It's a Blu-ray.
Okay. I mean, somebody must have kind of liked it.
Kino,
at some
oh, it's
point.
Kino Lorber. How they're involved.
Oh.
Hi, Kino.
Hi, Kino.
I didn't know this was Kino Lorber. I thought it was Olive.
Wherever that means.
Olive was another boutique label
Mm.
that sort of disappeared. I could have sworn this was Olive.
Well, look at you. Now you're a super fan. You didn't even tell me what the movie was about.
I don't want to spoil it. I told you the girl gets into business she's not supposed to.
Mhm.
Sort of girl in trouble. I think she's still in school, teen, something like that.
Well, now I want to watch it.
Cheryl Ladd's in it. You ever hear of Cheryl Ladd?
No.
You ever hear of Charlie's Angels?
I've heard of it.
Okay,
I've never
so
really
she
watched it.
was in that.
Okay.
And so this was after Charlie's Angels, and she had to take movies like this.
Okay.
And she would have been the ball-busting mom. Like,
Okay.
Get off the phone.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to talk to people.
On delay. On delay.
Imagine you're getting on the internet and
Mhm.
doing an internet dating.
Mhm.
That's essentially what she's doing on this telephone. That
Okay.
sort of.
And then he's gonna be
broadly.
like a bad guy.
You look-
That's
you-
my guess.
you-
I never seen it.
That's right. You're picking out somebody who is not on the level.
Okay.
So what do you got, champ?
I went kind of a little different direction. This is a movie from my collection. Ooh. And it's just a movie I like. I don't know if it was forgotten. I don't hear people talking about it a lot, but it has a 4K.
Ooh.
So somebody must have been interested.
Okay.
I got The Last Night in Soho.
Oh.
I've seen this movie about 5 times.
Look at you.
Yeah,
I think I've only seen that once.
I've seen it a bunch
I
of
might have
times.
seen it with you at the movie theater, right?
You saw it with me at the movie theater, and then I paid way too much for a Blu-ray
Uh-huh.
because I didn't wait.
Right. You gotta
I-
wait.
This was near the start of me collecting physical media, and I didn't know you had to wait, so I just went out and I bought it for the dumb price, and then it went down super cheap, and I was mad at you.
And also, I want to say something out there.
Mhm.
Safety tip. Unless you absolutely are sure you're not going to be able to get a copy without paying 3 or 4 or 5 times, always wait. The price always goes down. I mostly look at Blu-ray.com, which I think
Mhm.
is owned by Amazon. Kino Lorber, another superstar manufacturing plant,
hmm
because they do a lot of niche movies that you're not going to see.
Yeah,
Stuff
the
that people can't
niche
sell,
movies.
they do it. And there's a couple others. There's Arrow that does it, but they're really expensive. And there's Vinegar Syndrome, and they are, woohoo! I can't afford anything Vinegar Syndrome does, because even when they lower the price, it's about 8 times too much for me.
Okay, great.
But they're there. So if you got a rod for a special movie for you, and you'll pay whatever,
hmm
you can get it from them.
Yeah.
But I would say right now, Kino Lorber is the top dog.
I paid way too much for my copy, and it wasn't even a 4K. It was
Oh.
just a Blu-ray.
And that's like a studio film, right?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I don't see Kino Lorber.
It's the
or
director
anybody
of Baby Driver.
else. That was okay.
That was something. I heard people like that.
That had Kevin Spacey in it.
There you
Remember him?
go. I do.
Really? What'd
Yeah.
you see him in?
Something.
Okay. I'll take that.
Well, I know the name. Once again, I need to see the face and maybe what he's in.
Okay.
I'm not like you. I'm not like.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hey, was that a compliment you didn't mean to get?
It was a compliment, but in a really terse tone. And his terse.
Curse. Okay, I'm going to look that up after this is over.
Okay, we're gonna have a couple words you're gonna look up. Okay.
More than a couple.
Okay. Last Night in Soho. I actually really enjoy this movie, and it's. How do I pronounce it? Anya Taylor-Joy, or
I think it's Anna Taylor-Joy.
is it? It's not Anya or
I mean,
Anya.
maybe she says that to sound fancy. She is British.
Could be Anne Taylor-Joy. Anya. I love her.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
I usually watch the movies where she's the star,
Really?
and she was Princess Peach in the
Ooh.
Mario movie.
Is that PC?
I'm a big fan of that. I really enjoy this movie. I remember when I saw the trailer, I was super jazzed to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw the trailer and I said, we are going to the theater to see that. And I was not disappointed. It's fun. You think it's just going to be good, fun time, but it's actually a horror movie. Yeah, it's like psychological horror, more like.
You know, I would sort of agree with that because it's got a lot in it.
Yeah.
You've got a very young girl who's just trying to find her way in the world.
hmm
You've got some kind of time travel.
So when she goes to sleep, she sort of gets to see through the eyes of this old star. She's like trying to make her way. I don't know what time period it is. I bet you could tell me, but I can't
think
remember.
The Anya.
1960s.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Okay. So it's a.
You should also mention it's all in London,
Mm-hmm.
and the cast is all English.
Yeah. Well, all she knows is she's experienced it. She thinks this is great. It's showbiz. It's like I was born. It was basically I was born in the wrong generation, and then things start to take a really nasty turn, and that's all I'll say because you don't want to spoil it.
Right. And it is that one is also like a mystery.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Was-
In fact, actually, the twist was kind of outstanding. I
I
don't
like the
know that I
twist.
predicted it, although I probably did.
You actually didn't. I
I
remember
didn't.
because you guessed something else,
Really?
and then you were like, "I didn't see that one coming."
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's so rare. Then it must be a really good movie because usually I can guess.
I really enjoy this one. Like I said, I've seen it a
That
few
chick
times.
there, Thomason Mackenzie.
Mhm.
She the only thing I've ever seen her in was M. Night Shyamalan,
Mhm.
Old or Older or something like that.
Well, I don't think. The problem is I never hear people talking about this movie, and that's
Right.
the reason why I grabbed it because I'm like, oh, I really like that movie. Plus, I don't hear people really saying, oh, my favorite movie is this. I remember when I first got here, like 2 years ago,
Mhm.
because you know they had the icebreaker questions at university. I would say this is my favorite movie
Oh.
at the time.
Did everybody just have blank stares?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's it. Yeah, it's niche.
they didn't know what I was talking about.
I will tell you what excited me about the movie and why I was a go. I saw the trailer too, but I also saw Terrence Stamp in the movie.
Who dat? What character did you
He
play?
plays the sort of retired policeman or something
Okay.
like that.
I know who
detective.
you're talking about.
That guy elevates everything he's in. So when I saw him, and I haven't seen him in a long time.
He was good.
Yeah, well, now you know.
Is that him right there?
That's him.
Okay.
And the reason he's good is any role he takes, the movie is better.
Mhm.
And in fact, that now that you've said that, I have got a movie up here that is also a probably haven't heard of, mystery find,
You should save it for
excellent
next
movie.
time.
I'm going to save it, but don't let me forget Terrence Stamp.
I
There's
won't.
a movie that is so top notch
That's
that I have to mention it, but nobody's heard of it, or very few people have heard it because it's kind of old.
yeah.
Might
This
be
is
70s.
not old. When
That
did
is
this come
brand new.
out?
A few years ago,
It's only a few years.
4 or 5.
I wonder if it says it here.
And isn't that Edgar Wright that made that?
Edgar
Or is it-
Wright.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he does. Good stuff.
Okay. Well, let me see if there's actually a timestamp on this somewhere. Usually there is. I'm not seeing one.
What does a timestamp mean?
Here you go. 2022.
Oh, so yeah,
Pretty
3-4
fresh.
years. That's-
At least that's when the 4K came out. At least. At
well,
least.
usually that came out pretty quick because nobody went to see that in the theaters. And
Yeah.
I don't think it made very much money.
Yeah. And
if you have
that's what I'm-
anything smart,
Mhm.
it's not going to make any money.
I have another movie I want to talk about for next time.
What? Save it.
For next time. I'm gonna.
Save it.
I'm gonna. Well, because you gotta keep. Well, now if we finally get some people, they're gonna be like, I wonder what movie they're talking about.
That's
What
right.
movie?
And you know what? I'm going to tell you the name of my pick. The movie is. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you next week.
Or you should. You should.
Or
have done,
whenever this happens again.
You should have done that, and I should have turned off the live.
You know what? That would have been excellent, except you froze.
Well, you didn't do
nothing.
anything.
Oh.
you
I
didn't.
paused.
You didn't give me a signal, or.
Well, if you got a great idea, you don't need me.
Well, because if I end the live and you're like, I wanted.
I'm here for eye candy. That's it.
wanted to tell
I'm
them
not the
about.
brains behind this.
So this movie sparked 2 different movie ideas from each of us.
Okay.
It's pretty exciting
Really? You had another movie idea because of that one?
because of this one. It made me
I
think
hope
of
it's
it.
not the one I'm thinking of where
I
they're
think it is.
eating.
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard. That's one of mine. All
That
right,
was one of
you can have
yours?
that. You got it. You got
That
it.
I do have that on Blu-ray, so I think I get first dibs.
Okay. Because mine is actually more impressive, even though the one you're talking about is very impressive.
I love that
In
movie.
fact, I think that was probably my favorite film that year.
That's I gotta say, like in general, that's like my top 5 movies, which is a lot. 'Cause I like
And You know what?
movies.
I'll tell you, the movies you saw this year, if you can think about it.
This year,
This
2024.
year, what is the best movie you've seen so far? This is the end of July, so you're halfway through. What's the best movie you've seen? I have an answer.
Probably.
I have a clear answer.
Do you mean like came out this year?
Yeah. From January
Was-
1st.
When
If you saw it on the 31st of December, keep that in your pile.
Just
I'm
ha-
talking about January 1st to now. Poor Things?
was that last year or
That
this
came
year?
out last year, but I think we probably saw it this year.
Okay.
I'm going to give that to you because
like
you
Poor
couldn't really
Things.
see it because it was only out in a handful of theaters. I'll give
Yeah.
that to you.
I've seen
Poor
it 3
Things?
times now. I
So-
really enjoy that movie. I think it's fun.
So if that's your favorite so far, there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
Okay? You're going to need deep therapy.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mine,
American Fiction?
No, that was pretty good.
I like that movie too.
That's another last year carryover by the time we
Okay.
saw it.
I
in
like
here.
movies from last year.
Right. You like all the awards movies.
Yeah. Shocker.
I'm going to tell you a movie that, and I'll tell you why it was so good.
Okay. Is
There's-
it one I've seen?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason it's so good is when you go into a movie absolutely blind.
Mhm.
So sometimes I'll hear people talking about a movie or say a title,
Mhm.
and before I get any information at all, if that sort of, somebody goes, "Wow, this is really good," I'll go seek that out without watching the trailer. I don't
Mhm.
like to watch trailers, and I'll go look, and then if it's good, I'm very happy. So the movie that I'm talking about, that I went in absolutely cold,
Okay.
which means I knew nothing about it. I knew the title, and I didn't even understand the title.
Okay.
And it is a genre of movie that I typically do not like.
The anticipation is killing me.
It's called Late Night with the Devil.
I did like that one. No, I feel like it could have done some things better.
Oh.
I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a fun idea and everything was great. There was a few things I'd change. That's why
Okay.
it can't be my favorite.
All right, well, that's my favorite so far.
Yeah. I guess there hasn't been many new movies this year that I've been kind of excited about.
Well, if things progress like I think they will, because I just watched that Kevin Costner Horizon movie and it was
Mhm.
horrible.
Okay. That's still going to be
I'm
your
thinking
favorite.
Late Night with the Devil's going to make it all the way to the
That's a
end.
really good. I love horror movies. I do. Maybe around Halloween we can start talking about horror movies we like.
Oh, I'll talk about them anytime.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just thinking.
Have you ever heard of Friday the 13th in July?
I have.
Really? I
In
haven't.
July?
I just made it up.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that new one. They're crowdfunding. I guess I don't know what it's called.
about that. Although I
Oh.
did hear they're doing a TV series.
Oh, Hannibal guy.
That's right. And his name is Brian Fuller.
I do know that.
And anything that guy touches,
Is great.
where he's not shoot out the door before it starts, because remember,
Mm-hmm.
he had a hand in creating Star Trek Discovery. But they
Really?
swept him out the door before it
Really?
even started.
Really?
Well, they changed a bunch of stuff and made it garbage.
Okay.
But he was there at the beginning, and when I heard that, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
I mean,
and
to
then
be
I found
fair,
out, oh, we're leaving because of creative differences. I went, oh.
to be fair, the beginning of Discovery I did really enjoy.
Really? When they were talking to that weird Klingon?
I didn't like that. I liked a lot of the story stuff.
I will say that the first season was interesting, and they had a huge twist in that one that I didn't guess either. I think it was much later
Yeah.
than I got it
And
before the review.
I know you didn't like some of the parts of season 2. I did. I liked some of the parts of season 2, but then that was it. It lost all
Well,
joy
for me, the
me.
final straw was it season 3 or 4? They were building to the big reveal
Villain,
at the
yeah.
end, and it was a squid or something.
Yeah, it was just like
I was like, you son
it was a
of
nothing.
squid.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. And then they didn't even fight the squid. They just gave it a big kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
They just said, "We love you."
I
That's
don't know. I would
really
have been getting ready. Some calamari.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's that.
I already looked.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
for
the end of
us.
that. I can't think of anything, and no one's in the room, and nobody's watching. But one day
Our
someone
words
will
will be
say,
heard.
"Wow, this is fantastic."
Mm-hmm.
So if you would please leave the spot and shut her down.
Give me
I'll-
one big last goodbye. What?
And when I do this, that means turn it off.
Okay.
And so I want to leave you with one final prayer for the week or however long this takes.
It's covered. It's covered. How do I let this go?
La 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 la, be allegra. Da 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 da. Be allegra. Da da